हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshani Tika of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and the Rasik Ranjan commentary, which is the sub-commentary to the Sarartha Varshani Tika. We are on the seventh chapter and we are on the third section. So yesterday, we did the recap of the first section, which has three subsections. And then yesterday we began with the second section, which has again four subsections. So within the four subsections, we started with the first subsection, why surrender, then those who don't surrender, and those who do surrender, we just only touched upon the 16th verse. And there are a series of verses 16 to 19, which we will be touching upon today. Basically, after Krishna explains how he's pervading everywhere in this universe through his immanence, and ultimately, all the modes, Yechaiva Satvika Bhava, Rajasa, Tamasaya, he's present in all the modes, and all the modes are present in him, but he is not, within the modes. I am not subject to modes, for the modes are under my control because they are his energy. And because of that, Tribir Gunir Mahir Bhave. If you are pervading everywhere, then why people cannot see you? Because everyone is bewildered by the three modes. Ebbi sarvamidam jagat mohitam. They are bewildered. And that's why they cannot know you. Na bijanati. Who is Param Avyayam. He is Param, he is transcendental to three modes. And we saw that it is because of the avidya potency, which is Mahamaya, and the covering potency and the bewildering potency causes this. And how do we cross this Maya, which is difficult? Mama Maya Durate, by surrendering to Krishna. Then one we can cross Maya, and then we can know him. If it is so easy, then why don't the wise don't surrender? Actually, they are not wise because they are dushkritina and they are Muda, Prapadyante, Naradama, and Maya Pritagyana. Or there can be Mudas, Naradama, Maya Pratyana, Asuram Bhava Mashita. So, from the Krishna Lila point of view, the different categories of Karmis, Gyanis, Mayavadis, and the Asuras, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains this verse. The current level of those who are in illusion, Prabhupada speaks in his purport, which we have not touched, but we saw Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's. And those who do surrender, they are the Sukritinas, which we started yesterday. That is, Chaturvidha Bhajante Mam Jana Sukritina Arjuna Artho Jigyasur Artharthi Jnanicha Bharatarshava. So we saw this yesterday, and these are Sukritina, but in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is very clearly mentioned which category they belong to, Kanish, Madhyam, or Uttam. Only when they get the kripa of the Lord or his devotee and tad bhava sheena, sa sheena, tad bhava, then they become adhikari for Shuddha Bhakti. Till then, they don't become adhikari for Shuddha Bhakti, their Bhakti is Mishra. And ultimately from Kanishta Madhyama, they should come to Uttama, and from Uttama, their Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti begins. Then they practice Shuddha Bhakti. Otherwise, the Bhakti is also, Mishra. Till then, it is Mishra. We have to understand that very clearly. Yesterday, we saw this verse discussion, which was quite an elaborate verse. Now, within this flow of the verses, is the next verse, which we will start today. Now, among these four categories, okay, Bir Krish Prabhu has a question. Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji. Just 1 second. 1 second, just hold on. Yes, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रभु। Prabhu, this four types of Pradhani Bhukta Bhakta, what could be their degree of surrender, Prabhu? It cannot be 100%, no?
They are surrendered to their problems, and their surrender intensifies when the degree of that need is there. When they are in distress, some even so-called practitioners of devotees, you know, they are easygoing devotees, and whenever there are problems, then they more start frequently coming visiting the temple. Or when the desire to, they have to accumulate something, or they want, wealth or whatever, then they practice their bhakti with intensity. So the surrender is more based not out of pure love for Krishna, but based on their needs. So like that, it varies like that. They are seasonal
Right, right,
devotees.
right, right, right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, because it is Sakama, but ultimately their object is Krishna, that Krishna appreciates. And because that object is, the Lord, so ultimately whatever they desire, that is fulfilled. And because their object is the Lord, they get Salokya. That's what yesterday we saw in Vishwanath Chakravarti's commentary. You know, the
Right, right.
result, he mentions here. The result of this bhakti is attainment of the respective desires, deliverance from suffering, attainment of scriptural knowledge with materialistic method, gain of material benefits. After that, because the superior nature of their object, the Lord, those devotees attain liberation in the form of Salika, attaining this with predominance of Sukha and Aishwarya. The standard example is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, you know, uh, was a Sakam Bhakta because he desired a kingdom greater than the Lord. Brahma, sorry, great grandfather. And then when he had the darshan of the Lord, he no more had that desire. He had become Nishkam. But still, although he became Nishkama, he is not classified as a Kevala Bhakta. He is still a Pradhani Bhakta, but it is Jnana Mishra. It is more like, Nishkam Bhakti. He doesn't want now, but still the Lord gives him. And after that he attains Dhruvalok, which is filled with opulence, which is Vaikunthalok. And ultimately he attains the spiritual world also, which is filled with predominance of happiness and power, Sukha Aishwarya. So, so the the Kevala Bhaktas are very, very special. So that's why sometimes those who are Jnana Mishra or Karma Mishra attain Prema and Dasya and higher rasas on their own with no apparent association in this life because of the influence of social peer. However, that Prema is predominated by mood of reverence, Aishwarya. It is Prema, but it is predominated by Aishwarya, Sukha Aishwarya. The result of pure bhakti, Kevala bhakti, which is unmixed by Jnana, Karma, Yoga, is Ananya bhakti. And this is becoming an associate of the Lord. So this is quite different. So you have to have the clear discrimination and understanding what Vishwanath
Right.
Thakur is saying here. Okay.
And Prabhu, this fourth, this Gyani category,
Mm.
does it include those impersonalists also? Or
No, this is not that kind of a Gyani who practices Atma Gyan. He is,
Mhm.
he is inquisitive to know about the Lord. You know,
Mhm.
he is not a Atma Gyani. Of course, there are various understandings from different angles. Sridhar Swami takes a different approach, but his purpose is quite different because he is addressing that time his crowd who were having more Mayavad inclination. So he refers to the Atma Gyani there. But
Mhm.
here, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and Ramacharya mostly take it as, one who has Bhagavad Sambandh Gyan, this is, you know. See, he approaches the Lord, is more to have knowledge of the Lord, not to
Right.
love the Lord. So that's why
Bhagavad Tattva Gyan.
ah, that is why it is not
Right.
considered that pure. Are you getting this
Right.
point?
Right. 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 Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we will continue our discussion from here now. So among these now four categories, Tesham, it becomes Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Priyo hi Jnani Notyartham Aham Sacha Mama Priya. Of these four types, Tesham, the Jnani, who is constantly engaged in thinking of me, Nitya Yukta. Yukta means he's linked, and his link is always Nitya. Who's practicing bhakti alone? Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. He's not like the others who practice because of other desires. You know, Eka Bhaktir is the best. Vishishyate. So among these four, the Jnani, who is Nitya Ukta and Eka Bhaktir, is best. I am cherished by that Jnani. Priyohi Jnanino Atyartham. And he is cherished by me. Aham Sacha Mama Priya. He is very dear to me and I am dear to him. You know, Krishna is saying like that. So, first time in the Gita, Krishna is expressing his sentiment and love for his devotee here. You can see in this section specifically, right? Among the four types who are qualified with bhakti, those with Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, who is the best? Now, again, it is among the Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. Huh? Please remember that. Among them, the Jnani is the best. The Jnani is the best. He is absorbed in me constantly, Nitya Yukta. This means that because his consciousness has been brought under control by the practice of jnana, he has full concentration in the mind, and his mind is not afflicted with distress or material hankerings. He has full concentration on me only. The other three types do not have this quality. So this is the difference. The Lord is speaking about the other three types. They don't have this quality what this Jnana Mishra has. Now Arjuna says, or the author puts a rhetoric question. But does the Jnani just worship you out of fear that his Jnana will be ineffective without bhakti? Because first six chapters we have spoken, na, that if he practices Jnana sadhana and with that Dhyan sadhana he cannot attain, liberation. And without bhakti, his Jnana will be ineffective. Does it mean like that? No. He has predominance of bhakti, eka bhakti. Not like the other Gyanis who have predominance of Gyan, or the meaning can be he has great attachment to the process of bhakti alone, and he is a Gyani in name only. He is a Gyani in name only. I, in the form of Shyam Sundar, am exceedingly atyartham dear to such a Gyani. He cannot give me up either in the stage of sadhana or perfection. I also hold him very dear. This is according to the reasoning that I respond to the devotee in proportion to his amount of surrender to me. So, where does Krishna say that? Anyone? Where does Krishna say this? Where does Krishna say this? Chakrama Prabhuji, yes.
Yatamam, Hare Krishna, everybody. Yatamam Prapadante.
Yatamana ye yatamam prapadyante. Ye yatamam prapadyante. Yatamam nahi, ye yatamam prapadyante. So this is there in the fourth chapter, verse number 11. Why is it not opening? Let me. I have still to install the Veda base because this computer was just recently formatted. What happened? Yes. ये यथा माम प्रपद्यन्ते तम तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्य पार्थ सर्वशः. Oh, why is it so slow, man? Some reason I feel. Okay, so it is 4.11. When the distressed The inquisitive, jigyasu, the seekers of wealth, arthati, and the jnanis become free from impurities. They all become my devoted followers. So even the jnani has an impurity, please remember. He's not coming out of love, but out of seeking knowledge for the Lord. Among them, the jnani will attain pure jnana, having given up the impurity of jnana or the desire for salvation. So that's also what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions here. They then become endowed with bhakti yoga and attain superiority over other three types of devotees. This means that, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentaries is this. Okay. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about the desire for salvation, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a little different understanding. That's okay. I told you, different acharyas have a different view about it. This means that although the process of karma cleanses the living entity who is naturally conscious of all impurities, the living entity's swarupa is not realized to the extent that it is revealed through Gyan Yoga. Ultimately, by associating submissively with divinity, everyone realizes their swarupa. Ultimately, everyone, whether it's Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra, by associating with devotees, they will realize their swarupa. During the sadhana stage, only the Jnana Bhaktas are specially endowed with one-pointed Eka Bhaktir, pure devotion, and they are superior to the other three types, eligible persons described above. They are my unalloyed servants. Thus, I am very dear to them, and they are also very dear to me. So that's how Vishnu Chakra Thakur explains this. Yes, Navneet Kalramataji. Yes. Yeah, you can speak. I have unmuted you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. There was a
Yes.
lag between what you were saying and what's coming on the slides.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. That's why it suddenly went slow. What was the reason? I was wondering why it went slow. So, what I was trying to say is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary that among these three, distressed, inquisitive seeker, and the Gyanis, they have to become free from their impurities. Tad tad bhavashinam. And they also become devoted followers. Among them, Gyani, who attains pure Gyan, has the impurity of Gyan or the desire for salvation, he says. Both things. Impurity of Gyan is there. And then they become endowed with Bhakti Yoga and attain superiority over the three types. And this means that although the process of karma cleanses the living entity who is naturally conscious of all impurities, the living entity's swarupa is not realized to the extent that is revealed through Jnana. So, among the three, the Jnana Mishra is on a higher level because he's one sense, he's self-realized, he's Atma. Ultimately, by associating submissively with devotees, everyone realizes, all the four realize their swarupa by bhakti. During the sadhana stage, only the Jnana Bhaktis are specifically endowed with one-pointed pure devotion, and they are superior to the other three types of eligible person described above. So during the sadhana stage, this is the Jnana Bhakti, the Jnani Bhaktas are Eka Bhaktir, and Nitya Yukta. Not like the distressed who, whenever there is distress, he gets connected. And they are my annual devotees. They are very dear and they are also dear to me. I am very dear to them, then they are also dear to me. That's what Krishna says. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay, Bir Krishna Prabhuji, you have a question. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Yes.
Prabhu, Prabhu, here it appears that this Gyani Bhakta, he has taken up the process of bhakti only after he has attained Sthita Pragya state. Then after he started? Because here it was mentioned that his consciousness has been brought under control by practice of Gyan. In commentary to
basically,
this.
no, it is not mentioned like that. Basically, see, um, there are various understandings which I don't want to go into it now. Basically, it can refer to a Atma Jnani who has been self-realized and he has come to the Lord to realize the personal form of the Lord. he's more attracted to the personal form, and Bhagavad Sambandh Gyan. So it can refer to him. So in that sense, his consciousness, is not after material pursuits. Simple. See, you can also observe sometimes, devotees who come to Krishna consciousness, they come with just the motive to actually understand and love God. And we see they make very quick advancement. But others who come, they just come for, under certain other conditions. They take a long time in their path of bhakti. Have you observed that or no?
Yes.
So it's something like that. It can refer to also Atmagyani. But here, this Gyani is not referring to one who is practicing the sadhana of Atmagyan. That is Yama Niyama, the limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. Here, he is more attracted to the Lord and he wants to know the Lord. Bhagavad Sambandha Gyan it is. That you have to clearly have this understanding. Is it clear?
And when we say Gyan Misra, they are Gyan Misra Bhakta, so that means they are still following some limbs of Jnana?
No, they are basically come, they have come to know the Lord. That's it. And their consciousness is purified. Now, their consciousness might be purified in this life or from previous life practices also. You see, some people who come to bhakti, they easily renounce the world. Some people, after 15 years also, they have struggling to renounce basic attachments. Yes or no? Although they are practicing bhakti. Yes or no? Of course, very rare also you find such people also, right?
Yes. Actually,
So, yeah, it's very difficult to tell, but by certain indications you can understand. It can also refer to Atmagyani, but he's come now to know the Lord more, to know the Lord.
my
Is it
question was
clear?
because since it is being mentioned as Gyan Misra Bhakta, so that's how the question starts, bro. Gyan
No,
Misra
Jnana
Bhakta means
Mishra
they have.
Bhakta, but he has come to know me. He's not come to, analyze difference between matter and spirit. Got the difference?
Yes.
He has not come to analyze matter and spirit. That's the difference. Okay. Vinita Mataji, yes, what's your question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I just want to
Yes.
understand that is there a possibility that a devotee comes to Krishna as the first level, that is Artha, distressed, first category, and then
Most
he
of them
turns
come
in.
like that only.
Yes, that I understand. But can that person who has come in distress become a Jigyasu and then this and then
That is what
Jnani?
I mentioned. Yeah, yesterday I
Yeah.
mentioned that generally what happens is that the Artho and Artharthi ultimately have to come to the platform of Jigyasu and further advance to Jnana, you know.
Yes.
So then they can make little progress.
Got it,
You know.
Prabhuji.
It's very clear. I'll tell you, this is like a known case to me. One person, well-wisher, came to the temple just when I had joined. I'm speaking now 20 years back, 2002-3. And then he came to the temple with a file and then he took darshan. And then after that, I saw him after 1 or 2 years. And then he told me that, I came and prayed, that this contract I should get. And by the Lord's mercy, I got the contract. And he made a lot of money. And he gave some donation to the temple. And then after I see him after 10 years, because so much money he had made wealth, then the distress was solved by the Artha problem was solved and he was absorbed in it. Then, rarely he used to come. So ultimately, he doesn't come to the platform, oh, the Lord reciprocates with us. Then what am I asking? Is it material? And I should not approach the Lord with material motives. All that inquiry about the Lord, the Lord is present, then this is the relationship. It is more of a business then. So like that, if he doesn't go to this higher level consciousness of Jigyasu and then come to Jnani platform, then he doesn't make advancement. Are you able to get my point?
Yes, Prabhuji. Since yesterday I was trying to understand this.
And it depends also, even this Artharthi, Jnani, or Jigyasu, if they come in association with a powerful pure devotee. Now, did Dhruva Maharaj, when he meet Narad, did he give up his desire for a kingdom greater than his father?
No, he didn't.
Just coming in touch with Narad? No. He said, if you cannot do this, please, no, please go on the side and don't block my way, he said. You know?
Yeah.
So after even taking mantra from the Narad, he pursued is this. So he got purified, and not only just by darshan of Narad, he did not get purified. Only when the Lord gave him darshan, then he became free from that desire. So tat tad bhava sheena. Till then it is Mishra only, you have to understand. That's the point. Okay?
Yes, sir. Prabhuji, one more question related to yesterday's
Yes.
that Madhukari
Yes.
from
This is a section very
Braj.
important, and I'm very happy that devotees are asking questions.
Yesterday we
Yes.
had discussed about one sage who that we do Madhukari in Brajvas. Yes. So the Madhukari is like whatever the Grahastha wants to give us, or it is on our choice. Hello.
The one who is begging Madhukari.
Yes, like Madhukari means like whatever we get, we have to survive on that. That is what is my understanding. But
Correct.
yeah, so and one goes achanak. They don't like suddenly. It is not a planned meal for somebody who's going to come. So that Madhukari is like whatever we get, that we have to accept.
Yeah, Madhukari means whatever little you get from each house. They also have specific houses they go, not all the houses, because then they feel that, it will become too much for them. Too many houses, to get Madhukari, and whatever little roti, some sabzi they get, they're happy with that. That's it. If you're going for a specific item that this house, they give paneer, then it is not Madhukari. Okay. Navneet Kalra Mataji. Yes. What's your
Hare
question?
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This line
Yes.
that the Jnani gives up the impurity of Gyan, that means that his prayojan changes.
Yes. That I should not approach the Lord for knowledge, but I should approach him out of pure love. Then in
So
the
he's no
Damodar
longer.
Ashtakam, that line is that Damodar Ashtakam line is there, na? What is that line in the third verse? Um, Tadiyeshu bhakteshu, tadiyeshu bhakteshu. No. Uh, what is the third line? Anyone remembers? I'm not able to recollect. Uh, iti, no, iti lila. What is that? Anyone remembers? Yes, Subhayakshan Krishnaji. Yeah.
इति दृक्षलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं
Swagosham nimajantam akhyapayantam
निमाज्यन्तमख्यपयन्तं
tadiyeshu
तदीयेषु
tagyeshur
तज्ञेषु
bhaktejitatvam
भक्तजितत्वं पुनः
puna
प्रेमतस्तं
prematastam shatavriti bande. So
सतावृत्तिवन्वे
he's showing how his own devotees conquer the Lord by love. And he's showing these devotees who are filled with Aishwarya Gyan knowledge of the Lord that he cannot be conquered by love as these Premi Bhaktas conquer me. So his more Gyan is Aishwarya Gyan. So Krishna is telling that those who are after the Aishwarya Gyan of the Lord, he cannot be conquered. Krishna cannot be conquered by love, and he becomes subservient to that love. So these are that kind of Gyanis here, what Krishna is speaking. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question you have? Okay. Yes, Vinuta Mataji, you have a question. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhuji, can you go back to that slide where the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu's shloka is quoted?
Yeah.
One slide before this. Yeah, here, yesterday you were saying ki even if somebody gets a pure devotee's mercy, yeah, until go back to that slide, Prabhuji. Not this. Yeah, this one. Here, yesterday you were saying ki even if somebody gets pure devotee's mercy, still, until unless he doesn't eradicate those tendencies, they won't be able to progress to Shuddha Bhakti. So how does this
Correct.
eradicating those tendencies happen? Is it, you gave example of Daksha Pradapati. Is it like we ourselves have to try to eradicate these tendencies, or over a period of time our chitta is purified by the Lord, or how we can?
Yeah, it depends on our motivations also, and ultimately, by the sadhana process, how we, become free from this anya vilashas. So it happens both by our endeavors and the Lord's mercy also. But first we have to recognize that I should not approach the what with any material motives, but only out of love.
Okay.
So how do you feel when your children approach you, not out of love, but with some material motives, like I want something from you, and that's why they come approach you. You will fulfill them because
Yes.
of the magnanimity, because the connection is there. But even in that there is love, but it is still tinged. But they come only just for the purpose of serving you and not asking anything. That is on a higher platform. So that happens with our own, chitta shuddhi. The chitta shuddhi has to happen by our own practice of sadhana, and then slowly, we will realize it. And then when we come to that point, then, I should not approach you, my Lord, for any material things, but only out of pure love. So then, with the association of the pure devotee, then our shraddha is purified. So the shraddha becomes, uh, there's a development of shraddha happening, and with that development of shraddha, that purification of the heart happens. Then our Shuddha Bhakti practice begins with Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Is it clear?
Hare Krishna.
Is it clear or no?
Prabhuji,
Yeah,
your
is it
voice is
clear or
actually
no?
breaking in between.
Voice is breaking, huh? Oh, one second.
Yes,
Just a
Prabhuji.
minute, just a minute.
Some sentence I could not hear completely.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and not hurry because the question should be answered and you have to have this clear understanding. Of course, this will come with the study of Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu also, which will be soon to begin again. Once the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu Eastern Division. It's very important subject matter for those who are practicing bhakti. Okay, so we finished this 18th verse. Now we'll go to the 19th one. Yeah. उदारः सर्व एवेते ज्ञानी आत्मैव मे मतम् आस्थितः सह हि उपामा Mamevanutamam gatim. They are all exalted. Sarva udhareva. But the Jnani is my soul. Jnani tu Atma eva. He is like my soul. Because he is firmly convinced. Astita hi yuktatma. That I am alone the highest goal. Mama eva uttamam gatim. That is my opinion. Me matam. So among these four, Tesham Jnani Nityukta. He's very dear to me. Then Arjuna might have a question. That means these other three who are approaching you with sakam, material desires, they are not dear to you? No, they are also all exalted. Udara sarvete. But he again says, Jnani tu Atma iva me matam. This is my opinion that Jnani is like my own self. Why? Because he is firmly convinced. Astita hi Atma. That Mam eva anutamam. That, he comes with the goal to attain the Lord and not the goal to fulfill his material desires or become free from distress or inquisitiveness with that goal. So Arjuna, or a rhetoric question asked by the author himself to establish the flow of connection from the verses, then that means that the other three are not dear to you. No, they are all dear to me. Those who worship me, accepting objects they have desired, but which I wanted to give them anyway, are certainly dear to me, who have affection for my devotees. So those who worship me, ultimately, he has come to me, just like, parents have children, they should out of love only come to the parents to serve the parents, but they have certain material motives, and they want to serve. After they will have to go for a trip to London. Please sponsor my tickets. And ultimately, you feel nice that ultimately, anyway, my wealth is for you only. You only have to use it. So I'll sanction it. Take. But that same son, instead of approaching the father, he goes through his friends and takes money from them, and without telling the father, goes to London. That father will not take. So ultimately, they have these material desires, but they worship, they come to me and they accept the objects they have desired. And anyway, I wanted to give them. So they're certainly dear to me. This is because I can generally sit with them, but the Jnani is myself. Udhar, they are magnanimous. Krishna is saying, Arey, what is the heart of Krishna you have to see here? Oh, they have ultimately come with these material. That is their magnanimity. And Krishna is saying, oh, they are magnanimous souls. Because they have ultimately, even if they have come with material motives, they have come to me. So that's why Krishna is calling them Udhar. But the Jnani is myself. He worships me, does not bear anything at all from me. Neither Swarga nor Moksha. Thus I am independent on him. He is my soul. Atma eva hi matam. This is my opinion. This is because he firmly convinced Asita that I alone form a Sundar, not my impersonal aspect as Brahman Nirvan and the highest goal, Anuttamam Gatim to attain. So that's why this Jnani is not a Jnani who pursues Jnana Sadhana to realize the impersonal aspect. I am alone in the form of not my will is the highest goal. So he has this firmly convinced about this. Jnani who has predominance of bhakti has no material desires, is considered affectionate Lord as his own self. Atma eva matam, by the affectionate Lord. But the Kevala Bhakta, now, Vishnu Chakravarti compares, Krishna said he's like my soul. But what about the Keval Bhakta, the pure devotee? The pure devotee is considered Lord to be dearer than his self. And he quotes from the Na tata me priyatma priya priyatama atma yonirna shankara na cha shankarshano na shrir nevatma cha yata bhavan. My dear Uddhava, neither Lord Brahma, Atma Yoni, Shiva, na Shankara, Lord Sankarshan, na Shankarshan, the goddess of her fortune, no Shiva. She is the goddess of into my own self, Naivatmana, are as dear to me as you are. So this is how Krishna holds a Kevala Bhakta. He is more than himself. This is how Krishna has always Kevala Bhakta. And he quotes another verse from the Canto. This is in respect to Amrish and Durvani episode. O best of the Brahmanas, with same persons for whom I am the only destination. I do not desire my transcendental bliss and my supreme opulence. Naham atmanam asheshe mad bhakte sadhubir vinam. Without the saintly persons, you know. Oh, it's not there's some trouble here. Audio is full. Let me see if I can change the connection. This is the best connection we have here. Voice is breaking. Mhm. Let me try this another connection. I don't know why this is happening. Okay, let me see another connection whether that works well. I think is it audible now? Is it clear or no? Vinita Mataji, is it clear now? Hari bol. Hare Krishna. I think it is because of the internet connection, because it is repeatedly showing me the message that internet is unstable. Bir Krishna, is it clear now? Hari bol. Are you able to hear me or no? Sometimes. Oh, strange. Sometimes. No, not so much. Intermittently. Oh. So I think it's basically. Oh, you are able to hear me. Tukaram Prabhu is able to hear me. What do we do? so frustrating, if you can't hear, na, really, because it's like our lifeline. Hearing is our lifeline. Once it is okay, now it is clear, they're saying. Okay, so we will continue. Just finish these two verses. Yeah, okay, good. Now it's clear, I can hear. Okay, fine. Yes, Navneet Kalramataji, you have a question? Dude, that's also not happening. What's happening, Baba? Yeah, are you able
Yes,
to
sir,
mute
Prabhuji.
yourself?
Yes, Prabhuji. And I could hear now. Can you little bit go back and repeat, Prabhuji, because it was breaking, so we could not hear anything much.
Yeah, I'll just repeat that. But
Hare
Navneet
Krishna,
Mataji, you have a
Prabhuji.
question or something?
Yes, Prabhuji, I
Yeah.
think when you start sharing the file, then the voice starts breaking more. I don't know if that is
Yeah,
related.
Oh, yeah, there is some
the screen
connection.
and
Yeah,
voice
yeah,
doesn't go.
yeah, I'll have to see whether. But I found that there is a lag. That's because, because the processor is slow or something has happened like that.
Yeah, maybe the
Yeah,
internet,
I got
you
the
need to
point.
increase
The-
the bandwidth or something. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a professional,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
think
It is also
that's what
there,
I'm
and I
noticing.
think yeah, it's more of a system issue because when you are speaking to me now, I'm very clearly able to hear. But here there is some lag because of the system getting slow, I feel. Okay, so the point what I was trying to make is that these jnanis, they are very dear to the Lord because they are firmly convinced that I, the form of Chansundar and not the impersonal one, is to be attained. Yes, goal. They have convinced for this. And this Jnani has a predominance bhakti and no material desires. The Lord considers him very affectionate as his own self. And but the Kevala Bhakta, his own self also is not so dear as much as the Bhakta is dear. And not even, Brahma is so dear, Shankara is so dear, or Shankarshan, or even Lakshmi himself, as much his Kevala Bhakta is dear. And then he quotes another verse from the Ambarish Durvas episode, that without Mad Bhakta Sadhubir Vina, who am I only, who am the only destination I desire, don't desire to enjoy the bliss and my supreme opulence. And the foundation is Atma Romo Apya Ri Ramat. Smiling up upon hearing those despondent words from the Lord Krishna, the supreme master of all masters of wisdom, mercifully enjoyed with them, although he is self-satisfied. He is Atmaramo Api a Riramat, but he enjoys, he gives pleasure to his devotees. So that is the Lord's, quality. When the above described four classes of devotees accept Kevala Bhakti, they become, not becomes. One second. Let me see. There are translation of type, and that's why sometimes they become supremely exalted. They become supremely exalted. However, the Jnani Bhaktas are situated in me because they have more determination than others to realize me, who am the supreme conscious entity and the highest destination of their endeavors. Mamaya Anuttamam. Because they accept my personal form that they are very dear to me and are able to control me completely. So that is what Krishna says. Now, when does this Jnani attain the Lord? Please remember within the flow of Vishnu verses from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's point of view, he is about Jnani. When will the Jnani attain or he become a Kevala Bhakta? Bahunam janmanam ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यते वासुदेव सर्वमिति सहमात्मा सुदुर्लभ ज्ञानी ज्ञानवान ज्ञानवान means he has realized ज्ञान and ज्ञानवान this is real knowledge see Vasudev everywhere Vasudeva sarvamiti it is Sarvamiti surrenders to me through devotee association. Mam prapadyante. Now please mark this, very important. Vishwanath Chandra Thakur translation through devotee association after many births. Bahunam janma namante. Now how many births? As long as he doesn't get the association of a pure devotee, Keval Bhakta, he has a steady mind, Sahamat, and is very rare, Sudurlabha. You say this Gyan is fixed in you as Mahava. Consequently, this Jnani Bhakta attains you. But after how long does a Jnani become qualified as a devotee? He who possesses knowledge, seeing Vasudeva after many births surrenders to me. Such a saintly person surrenders to me through chance association with devotees. So this Bahunam Janmanam Ante refers to ultimately with birth, ultimately he comes in touch with the causeless mercy of a devotee, Yadrichaya, and he gets that association. Till then, he cannot turn into a that Jnani Bhakta has a very steady mind, Mahatma, and is very rare. Sudurlabha. As I have said, Manushyana Srisha. So thousands, one person may know me in truth. Kaschin Mam Vetti Tattvata is my form. What do you speak of the rarity then of the Keval or the Ikanta Bhakta? If still Jnani after many years, he he surrenders to me out of pure love, then those who have already surrendered out of pure love, the Ekanta Bhaktas, how rare they are. Such a person is even rare. Okay, that's the point. After performing sadhana for many, many lifetimes, the jiva attains pure knowledge and becomes steadfast in transcendental consciousness. It's pure knowledge. He becomes jnanavan. So this is what you know is jnanavan. He attains pure knowledge means he becomes jnanavan. And he becomes steadfast in transcendental consciousness. In the beginning of such spiritual practice, when they are trying to give up their mundane religion, they take support of impersonal monism to some extent. During this stage, they develop disgust on the material world, but they also remain indifferent towards spirituality, especially regarding the variegated nature of material spiritual life. So there is some kind of disgust towards the material world. But when they say Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Vasudeva is residing everywhere. Yeah. So that little disgust towards indifference towards spirituality and to the variegated nature is there. When they have been a little advanced in eternal conscious existence of the self and understanding of the special nature of spiritual life, which consists of variegated activities, they become attracted to it and surrender to me, who am the supreme conscious form. Bhaunam janmamante Jnanavan mam prapadyate. They surrender to the all-pervading Brahman. They surrender to me, he's saying. And they understand this variegated form is variety is ultimately coming from God. So they don't have disgust now. At that time, they understand that this mundane world is not independent, but rather a perverted reflection of the conscious reality, the transcendental realm. And that a relationship with Vasudev also exists in this world. So they develop a relation with Vasudev with respect to this world also, because this world is a expansion of Vasudev. Therefore, everything is in relation to Vasudev. Those great souls, Mahatmas, who have such surrendered attitude towards me are very rare. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Just like, a mother out of love child, she might tell, you are my life and soul. It's not that the mother soul has been transferred to the child soul. Because of her love permeating to the child, you know, she's making this statement. Similarly, because of the love what a devotee, a Jnani Bhakta has for the Lord, he sees that this world is permeated by the Lord. It's called as Vasudeva consciousness. You know? And that is why when he comes to that mature level, and then he doesn't have disgust towards the variegatedness and has indifference to this world, but he sees this world as a perverted reflection of the conscious reality, the transcendental reality. Relationship Vasudeva also exists in this world. Then he is very mature and everything is in relation to Vasudeva. And such souls are very rare. That's the point being made. So the next section is now those who do surrender. 16 to 19, we discussed about the 4 categories, among which Jnani is the best. And when the Jnani ultimately becomes pure, this verse we saw, Bhaunam. Takes a different time. He says the Jnani is already attained the Lord because he's Eka Bhaktir, and the Lord tells he's like my Atma. But then he speaks about the other 3 categories. The other categories, the distressed, the seeker of wealth and inquisitor, when they will, come to the platform of, surrender to the Lord, and that they should approach the Lord not with imperial takam, but they should approach the Lord with nishkam bhavana. When will that happen? For them, it is bahunam janma. After many, many births, they realize that I cannot approach the with material motives. The flow is what Baladev Bhushan takes. But here, Vishnu Chandra Thakur takes with respect to that Jnani only when he will attain the Lord. And that Jnana goes away and there is a permeating in the permeation of the his consciousness is permeated for us. What happens? Bahunam Janmate, when he comes in touch with the devotee and realizes this, and then he approaches out of love and surrender to the Lord. So in one surrender is actually love, in one sense you have to understand. Okay, so that's the discussion today. Any questions you have about this now? If you have any clarifications here. Up to now, what we have discussed. Any questions, any clarifications? No? Okay. So then we will stop now. Although I wanted to start this next section, but we had a lot of questions, so that's very good. But no questions on this section, na? Just now we discussed. I hope there are no questions on this, right? Okay then. Thank you very, very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. हरे कृष्ण.